Good morning and welcome to this morning meditation. So we'll start by looking at our posture. We'll make sure the back is straight, the shoulders are even and relaxed. Ideally, sit on a cushion on the floor with your legs crossed. The best would be in full lotus posture. That may be difficult. You can try half lotus or Burmese style or simply crossed. Make sure you're comfortable, don't force yourself. Your hands in concentration mudra, resting on your lap. The neck is aligned with the spine. You can tilt the head slightly forward. The tongue towards the upper palate behind the teeth, the upper teeth, to reduce the production of saliva. And the eyes are not closed, slightly open, gazing in space 1 or 2 meters in front of you. So it is the mental consciousness that meditates, so we don't pay attention to what our eyes are apprehending. And we bring a mental object to mind. So you can use the Shamatha object that you usually use. And if not, you can visualize a small drop of white light between your nose and your upper lip and place all your attention on that small drop of white light. So remember your mental object, place all your attention, all your focus on it. We will do this for about 5 minutes, and for beginners like me, a lot of distraction will happen. So I might be distracted with thoughts, thinking about past or future. Or my mind could fall into dullness, into laxity. So it is very important to check with introspection, to have a part of the mind constantly looking, am I meditating? Am I still focused on my object? And if not, immediately when I notice, I make the effort to come back to the object and tie my mind to the object and stay there without forgetting the object. So we'll try this for about 5 minutes. Gently come out of the meditation. And now that our minds are a little bit more focused, we will try to generate motivation of bodhicitta for this session, this Lamrim meditation. So we can try to remember how since beginningless time, for countless lives, we have been circling in the vicious prison of samsara, constantly taking rebirth due to our karma and afflictions. The only way to be free from this lack of freedom, this misery, is to work on our minds by listening to the teachings, reflecting on them, meditating on them in order to realize them and eventually purify our mind from all afflictive obscurations. And we can contemplate that all our dear Mother sentient beings are in the same boat. Try to generate a sense of great compassion for them. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering, karma and afflictions. Now I have this precious human life, so I'm taking responsibility. I will study, contemplate, meditate in order to become a Buddha and free all sentient beings from suffering. May I become a Buddha to benefit all my dear Mother sentient beings. So with this in mind, we will recite some prayers to prepare our minds for meditating on the Lamrim. So at Tushita we would be on page 34, I think. So we can visualize in front of us all the Buddhas, starting with Buddha Shakyamuni in the center, His Holiness the Dalai Lama in front of him, Arya Maitreya, Arya Manjushri on the sides, and all the Buddhas of the past, all the Nalanda masters. You can think of Arya Shantideva, Arya Dignaga, Chandrakirti, and so on and so forth. In front of them, the Dharma is represented. They have Dharma texts that radiate gold light in front of them. And all around us, we can visualize all sentient beings, starting with your father on the right, mother on the left, all your friends, family, but also all the sentient beings you have difficulties with, and all people we actually don't know. We can try to visualize as many as we can on our sides. The Buddhas in front of us, and we are guiding these sentient beings to recite these prayers. And as yesterday evening Kabirji was saying, we can imagine that all these sentient beings are desperate to be free from suffering. We can visualize some of them even crying. But we have the solution in front of us. So together we can recite these prayers. So the refuge prayer we'll do 1 time in English, 2 times in Tibetan. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my practice of giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sangye chodan soge chonam la jonjo bado dagni gyabso iji dagi jinso gibe tsoknam ki jora benjir sangye jubara isho. Sangye chodan soge chonam la jonjo bado dagni gyabso iji dagi jinso gibe tsoknam ki jora benjir sangye jubara isho. And to reinforce our bodhicitta motivation, we will read the 4 immeasurables. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends and hatred for enemies. And then in order to achieve realizations, we need merit. We need to accumulate a lot of positive energy, positive potential, and purify our minds. So we will do the 7 limb prayers, the 7 branches of practice for that purpose. We'll shortly contemplate on the meaning of each of the points after reading it. Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind. So we can remember all the Buddhas in front of us. We prostrate to them with countless bodies. You can imagine all our bodies from past lives, all our bodies of future lives, making full length prostration to all of the Buddhas. I present clouds of every type of offering, actual and imagined. So you can think of all the actual offerings that are presented on your altar, if you have one, the altar here at Tushita. We have fresh water bowls that are being offered here. And you can imagine all the actual offerings that are made in all the Dharma centers around the Mahabodhi Stupa in Bodh Gaya, the Swayambhu and Bodhanath Stupas in Kathmandu, and we also imagine that we are offering all pleasant objects of the senses, and by offering to countless Buddhas in front of us, these offerings become numberless, thereby accumulating countless merit. I declare all my negative actions accumulated since beginningless time. So we don't want to experience the result of our past negative actions. Therefore, we confess We want to purify this negative karma. And if we can also make a promise to the Buddhas that we will refrain from doing these negative actions again in the future. And I rejoice in the merit of all holy and ordinary beings. So this is the very quick way to accumulate merit. We can generate great joy, rejoice in the holy actions. You can think of all the deeds that Shakyamuni Buddha performed for so many years, giving so many teachings, helping countless beings. You can think of everything His Holiness the Dalai Lama is doing. You can think of all your holy teachers, their vast activities, preserving and spreading the Buddha's teachings. You can think of all the monastics. You can imagine thousands of them at Drepung, Ganden, Sera, and all the other monastic seats. You can think of the Western Sangha, abiding in vows in places where so much advertisement is there for the objects of attachment. You can rejoice in all the students who are listening to teachings, contemplating, meditating on the teachings, all the students who are offering service, all the students who are doing a retreat. And you can rejoice in your own good actions. Please remain until the end of cyclic existence. So we request our gurus to stay with us. We can visualize that we offer them beautiful thrones, and turn the wheel of Dharma for living beings. You can visualize offering them Dharma wheels. I dedicate my own merits and those of all others to the great enlightenment. We'll also quickly offer a short mandala to accumulate merit, so we can visualize offering the universe and all its objects to all the Buddhas. This ground anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, 4 continents, the sun and the moon, I imagine this as a Buddha field and offer it. May all living beings enjoy this pure land. Idam Guru Radna Mandala Kam Niryatayami. And then to receive blessings, to contemplate the Lamrim, we will read this short prayer by Lama Tsongkhapa, the foundation of all good qualities, which contains all the essential points of the Lamrim, which is a practical guide of all the Buddha's teachings. Lama Tsongkhapa has made it so easy for us to understand the teachings of the Buddha that were so vast, so diverse. So we have a step-by-step guide. And here it is condensed in a short prayer. So you can maintain the visualization of all the Buddhas in front of us. And for each point, we request them to bless our mind streams to quickly realize these essential points. The foundation of all good qualities is the kind and perfect pure Guru. Correct devotion to him is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon him with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful and is difficult to find again, please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly, day and night, takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly it decays and death comes. After death, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of black and white karma follow. Finding firm and definite conviction in this, please bless me always to be careful, to abandon even the slightest negativities, and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Seeking samsaric pleasures is the door to all suffering. They are uncertain and cannot be relied upon. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to generate a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Led by this pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, and great caution arise. The root of the teachings is keeping the pratimoksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Just as I have fallen into the sea of samsara, so have all modern migratory beings. Please bless me to see this, train in supreme bodhicitta, and bear the responsibility of freeing migratory beings. Even if I develop only bodhicitta, but I don't practice the 3 types of morality, I will not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I have pacified distractions to wrong objects and correctly analyzed the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate quickly within my mind stream the unified path of calm abiding and special insight. Having become a pure vessel by training in the general path, please bless me to enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the supreme Vajra vehicle. At that time, the basis of accomplishing the 2 attainments is keeping pure vows in Samaya. As I have become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and pledges like my life. Then, having realized the importance of the 2 stages, the essence of the Vajrayana, by practicing with great energy, never giving up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. Like that, may the Gurus who show the noble path and the spiritual friends who practice it have long lives. Please bless me to pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. In all my lives, never separated from perfect Gurus, may I enjoy the magnificent Dharma. By completing the qualities of the stages and the paths, may I quickly attain the state of Vajradhara. So yesterday evening with Kabirji, we went through the 18 factors that makes our life as a human so precious, so valuable. So I'll quickly remind you of these 18 points, these 8 freedoms and 10 richnesses, or these 10 endowments. And then today we will meditate on the great value of such a rebirth and how rare it is, how difficult it is to obtain. So we are free from being born in the hell realms, in the hungry ghost realms, in the animal realms, and we are free from being born as a long life god. We have this human body. Not only that, but we are free from being born at a time where the Buddha has not appeared. We are free from being born in a remote country where there are no Dharma teachings. We are free from being born with impaired mental or physical faculties. And we are free from being born holding wrong views, such as denying the existence of enlightenment, the existence of the 3 jewels, the law of karma, cause and effect, future and past lives, and so on. And we are endowed with 10 righteousness. We are born as a human in a place where the Dharma teachings are established. We have complete faculties that enable us to listen to the Dharma, think about it and meditate on it. We have not committed any of the 5 heinous crimes of killing one's father, one's mother, an arhat, creating a split in a sangha, or drawing blood from a Buddha. And then we have faith in the Buddha's teachings, the 3 baskets, the 3 pitakas. Not only that, but we are born at a time when a Buddha has appeared. And it's not that long ago. The teachings are very much alive today, very well preserved. His Holiness the Dalai Lama and many other qualified Mahayana gurus are constantly giving teachings. The Buddha has taught 2,600 years ago, and the teachings are still remaining very much alive. They are very easily accessible these days on the internet. And then there are so many practitioners following these teachings. There is a sangha, there is a community. And there are a lot of people who are, due to their loving kindness, who are putting time, effort, and financially supporting practitioners. So kind, so generate great joy. Kabirji was saying that the realization of precious human rebirth happens when there is this constant joy that we are born human with all these opportunities, all these freedoms, all these leisures. We are so fortunate, so lucky. It's so precious because with all these 18 factors, we are able to observe the law of karma, the law of cause and effect. So by observing the law of karma, we will refrain from non-virtue, and we will practice virtuous actions instead. Because of that, we will achieve the temporary goals of good rebirth, happiness, good experiences, and so forth in our future lives. Not only that, but with all these 18 factors, we can achieve ultimate goals, such as liberation, by developing renunciation and practicing the 3 higher trainings. We can become arhats, achieve nirvana. And we can also achieve the ultimate goal of complete enlightenment by developing bodhicitta and practicing the 6 perfections. We can achieve the state of omniscience, state of full awakening, in order to be able to benefit all sentient beings. Each moment of our life can be made meaningful by doing actions with a bodhicitta motivation, practicing mindfulness, helping others, and so on and so forth. This is the value of this precious human rebirth, which is so difficult to obtain. So we are very lucky, very fortunate to create the causes for a precious human rebirth. Is extremely rare because it requires to practice pure morality, generosity, patience, and also stainless prayers of aspirations in previous lives. We must have done so many good positive actions that led to this rebirth, and we must have done prayers of aspirations to be reborn as a human again in order to be able to work on our minds. We can think also in terms of numbers. among, all the realms of existence. Happy migrations are rare. There are so many beings that are born as animals, hungry ghosts, hell realms. And among happy migrations, a precious human rebirth is rare. There are also so many beings in the Suras and Asura realms. But not only that, there are so many human beings we can see even on this planet. I think we are nearly 8 billion people these days. How many of them have a precious human rebirth? Very few. As Kabirji was explaining yesterday, so many beings don't have the merit to meet the teachings of the Buddha, and even if they have, they might not be interested. Therefore, living a complete worldly life, not accumulating a lot of virtue, engaging in non-virtue. How unfortunate. And then to contemplate how rare it is to achieve a precious human rebirth, the Buddha gave an analogy. He said that to obtain a precious human rebirth is more difficult and rare than for a blind turtle who lives on the bottom of a great ocean and comes up to the surface once every 100 years. So to obtain a precious human rebirth is more rare for this turtle coming up every 100 of years to put its head through a golden yoke floating on the surface. So again, generate great joy that we have these freedoms, these richnesses. I'm so lucky, so fortunate. We can dedicate our lives to contemplate the teachings, accumulate virtue, generate renunciation, generate bodhicitta, practice the 3 higher trainings and the 6 perfections. We have all the keys to purify our minds, get rid of the afflictions and all the obscurations, to achieve freedom and full enlightenment. So may we be able to take the essence of this precious human life rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. And then we will quickly dedicate the merits of contemplating the Lam Rim. Due to the merits of these virtuous actions, may I quickly attain the state of a Guru Buddha and lead all living beings without exception into that enlightened state. May the supreme jewel bodhicitta that has not a reason arise and grow, and may that which has arisen not diminish, but increase more and more. We can also pray for the long and healthy life of all our lamas, the swift return of our lamas who passed away recently. May there be peace in the world, no wars, no famine, no more epidemics, no natural disasters. May all sentient beings live in harmony, in peace. And may we be able to become Buddhas quickly, very quickly, in order to liberate all modern sentient beings from suffering. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.